Hello. Well, obviously, when we're in school, we don't plan on having kids anytime soon, not anywhere in the near future. But as women, to prevent this, we have to go through a long, awkward, and extremely expensive process just to get on a contraceptive. These contraceptives allow us kids peace of mind. And on average, women from ages 15 to 49 are on a birth control. And a lot of us can't afford it. If birth control was easily accessible and much cheaper, we wouldn't have to worry about high school kids getting pregnant. With this in mind, I hope that with clear and credible evidence, I can convince you guys to consider the idea of fighting for a cheaper and more accessible birth control. For starters, prices for birth control of any kind is expensive. Surgeon Jocelyn Elders claims that there are 88 different brands of a birth control pill. There's also the Depo-Provera shot and the Norplant implantation. And birth control pills can range anywhere from $10 to $30 with insurance, and almost double that without. The Depo shot, that costs $30 in itself, plus whatever your doctor decides to charge you for giving you the shot. And the Norplant implantation, that costs over $700. Depo only lasts 3 months, so you have to pay that much every month. Because this is so expensive, a lot of women resort to Plan B. I couldn't get any resources on prices of Plan B, but I took the liberty of contacting my local pharmacies here in Rosenberg. So CVS, Walgreens, and Target, they charge a little over $50 for one tiny little pill. Other pharmacies, including Walmart, Costco, places like that, their Plan B pill can range anywhere from $30 to $45. For one tiny little pill, that is still far too high of a price. While also being expensive, the process of getting a birth control, it's so long and it's such an awkward process to go through. While also looking for a legitimate doctor, you have to make sure that they accept your insurance. And if you don't have insurance, according to Sugarland gynecologist Laura Lee Kapokian, a well woman check without insurance can cost up to $200 just for that one visit. The visit is extremely awkward. I will spare you the details. But in all seriousness, that process is so awkward. So not only are you going through an hour and a half exam, you have to also answer super personal questions. Extremely personal, extremely awkward questions. And then you have to go through picking a birth control that can cost you over $30 if you don't have insurance. And then you have to wait for the pharmacy to get that prescription from your doctor. And then when you test out the contraceptive for a couple of months to make sure that it works for you, you have to call back to that pharmacy every month and then find time to either go pick it up or pay a little extra just to have them deliver it to your house. Now, the Depo and the Norplant methods, you have to go back and you have to reschedule a whole appointment just to get those refilled. Now, there are other methods to getting an oral contraceptive, such as going to Pill Club or Nerds.com. They will send you a little bit extra, like some chocolate or some stickers, just like some fun things to help you get through and like taking a contraceptive, but they claim to be faster and a lot cheaper, but it really makes no difference. You still have to send a prescription. You still have to wait a long time to hear back from a doctor. You still have to order it, and you still have to pay shipping and handling. So it really makes no difference what method you go through. And like I said previously, the process and the prices are way too out of line. And because of this, a lot of high school girls are at more of a risk of getting pregnant unintendedly. Even though pregnancy rates in high school have dropped over the past 2 decades, the US is still the highest rated country for high school pregnancies or adolescent pregnancies. And because of this, there are increasing dropout rates. 40% of kids who get pregnant as an adolescent don't make it through college or don't make it through high school. And 2% of that population, they're the only ones that are expected to make it through college before they're 30. Attempts have been made, though, by high schools and other schools to help prevent this. However, a 3-year study by Jay Gelfand proves simply that just by educating somebody about this is not going to change anything. They went through a whole 3-year study observing the changes in statistics just by making these kids go to a sex education class. And that proved that none of the statistics changed. None of the numbers changed at all over 3 years. Just by doing that, it made no difference. Getting pregnant at a young age puts these kids at extreme financial debt. Adolescents who got pregnant can cost Texas taxpayers, I'm so sorry. It can cost taxpayers up to $9.4 billion. And in 2012, it cost taxpayers only $1.1 billion. We could not cover that cost. Preventing teenage pregnancies will lead to a decline in poverty, low weight birth rates, and also improve the graduation rates, which is something we have been trying to fix for a long time. But also, aside from trying to improve the economy and graduation rates, also consider that younger girls who get pregnant, their bodies may not be able to handle having a child. Sadly, younger girls are more of a risk of having a baby and not being able to make it through having a baby. If a girl has a child or gives birth to a child before her body is ready, it puts not only that baby but her life, it puts that mother's life in danger of deadly complications just from giving birth. And what makes this even worse, their reasons for not being on a birth control, the biggest reason was because they had no support from their parents at all about getting on a contraceptive. They had no support from their community about getting on a contraceptive. There was a survey done in 2010 by G. Falk. He interviewed girls that were at an abortion clinic and asked them, why didn't you get on a birth control? What was your reasons? The reasons were the following. I couldn't afford it. I was not educated about a birth control nor its benefits. And I had no support from my parents. And if my parents did support me, they never helped me get to where I needed to be in order to prevent having a kid. So, because of all this, because the effects of not being on a birth control, that is a significant reason in itself for change. And without insurance, prices could be between $30 and $700 alone for any kind of contraceptive for women. And that is so unacceptable. The process is too expensive, too difficult, and too long to go through. Why are guys able to go to a drugstore and get it, but we have to go through doctors, pharmacies, and our whole health just for a contraceptive, just to not have a kid? Change, it can lead to many other great things besides possibly protecting a young girl's life and health, but also it gives them a better chance of graduating and going to college and getting a career, so that way they can actually support a kid when they are ready to. Overall, birth control just needs to be a lot cheaper and very easily accessible. Parents should encourage and support their kids in getting this to happen. Birth control needs to be supported, encouraged, cheap, and accessible. And with this, I encourage you all to consider striving for this change to be made. Thank you.